Sharing the African experience. The face-off continues. A striking university lecturers snub meeting with federal government. Growing concerns trail resurgence of Boko Haram terror attacks. And our big story tonight looks at the agony of the family of 10-year-old victim of last weekend's Owerri market clash. This is the Newshour on AIT. I'm Oloyode Oworu.
And I am Chinenye Anokuru. Welcome.
The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has failed to honor an invitation by the Labour and Employment Minister, Chris Ngige, over the ongoing strike. In a letter to the press signed by ASU President Biodun Ogunyemi, university lecturers say they had already informed government that they would not be attending the meeting until they get a response from government to a letter it submitted containing the views of members. Representatives of the Ministry of Education, the Nigeria Labour Congress, the Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission were already at the scheduled meeting. At a brief interaction with the media, Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige says the meeting of the government team was to go ahead to be able to present a position to the Federal Executive Council on Wednesday.
Yesterday, ASU got back to us, but that is late yesterday. This meeting had been scheduled before then, and ASU got back to the government to say that they needed us to deliberate on their counter offer before we can have a formalized meeting. And we acceded to that because we think we have to do a government side meeting on their offer before we then have a conciliation meeting to further discuss if there are further areas of disagreement or stamp an authority or questions to whatever the demands or their new demands should be. So that is the position. Tomorrow is Federal Executive Council, and we will also need council approval for some of the things we are doing, what the government has decided. Thereafter, we will then meet with ASU.
ASU began an indefinite strike on August the 13th, following government's failure to implement past agreements.
Nigerians in the United Kingdom are set to take the campaign for the repatriation of former Petroleum Minister Desiani Alison Madueke to face corruption trial at home to the office of the British Prime Minister at number 10 Downing Street in London. The development is coming as officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, chose to ignore protesters of the Bring Back Desiani campaign on day 2 of their sit-out at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, the Nigeria's capital.
Since the beginning of this present administration and the anti-corruption campaign, Desiani Alison Madueke has been in the news. She has not officially been arraigned before any court of law in Nigeria.
As of today, neither the commission nor the protesters can put a figure as the amount of money allegedly stolen by Desiani Alison Madueke and her cohort.
The exceptional youth of this country are asking for is a Nigeria that works for all of us. Yes, not a few of us.
The AFCC won a case against her for 7 billion. Before that, 7 billion naira. Before that, there's another 1 point something billion dollars. There are too many money here. And
Secretary to the Commission, Adegboyega Arimu, who addressed the protesters on day 1 of their demonstration, reacted to the growing complaints about the media trial the anti-corruption agency is said to be engaging.
Not against corruption. You know, when the FCC started during the Obasanjo regime, most of these monies were able to be traced because they were they were converted through bank transactions. But nowadays, what these criminals do now is to withdraw this money in cash and go to Beirut and shake. So it becomes very difficult to trace.
The protesters, led by popular entertainer Charlie Boy, have, however, called off their 2-day sit-out protest at the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. Hans Akudi, AIT News, Abuja.
Nigeria's Interior Minister Abdurrahman Dambazao has assured the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps of his ministry's support to enable them discharge their duties. The minister, on a working visit to the new national headquarters of the Corps, expressed satisfaction with the new office, which he said befits its status as a security outfit of government.
We are very happy that you have moved to this place. It's very strategic for you. And what we would say for now is to wish you the best. We know you are doing very well for your corps. Continue to excel. But I want to warn that there's a lot of work, a lot of expectations from the civil defense, public expectations.
He said the office is strategically located considering the nature of the Corps' mandate, thereby charging the Commandant General and all personnel to brace up to their task in order to meet up with the expectations of the public and government.
Because your job requires you to relate with people. So continue to do that. We're sure that on our own side, we'll give you all the support. Thank you.
The civil defense boss said the former headquarters at the Wuse area of Abuja will be converted to an institute of domestic security for training in different aspects of internal security services.
Now, no fewer than 3 policemen are feared dead and several others injured in a motor accident on the overhead bridge at the popular AYA roundabout in Asokoro district of the Nigerian capital, Abuja. Eyewitnesses who spoke to AIT say the accident involved the vehicle conveying personnel of the Nigeria Police Force.
We guys were standing, trying to cross the road. We now saw Mopo coming back from States. We don't know what happened to the driver. He now climbed the shoulder. He tried to cross the lane, now he's somersault. Now we see all the Mopo. All of them fall ground, all of them wounds, some 3 at the spot lost. At the spot 3, so then took some to hospital.
The vehicle was coming from this way. So it's likely the car failed brake. So they now jumped this road demarcation. So from jumping the road demarcation, he now fall down one of the poles and the motor somersaults. So in the process, there is nothing that I can do. I saw running around. Even there was a man that helped me to bring one of the police officers out from the car. Then we bring him out of the road. Then I now rush under the bridge and start inviting the police officers.
Emergency officials were seen removing the truck that caused a major traffic gridlock during the closing hours of the day.
When I called them, even before I called them, the ones here came out, the ones under the bridge came out. Even the way Nigerian police did today, they really tried. I don't know they can put more effort. They love themselves, even they love Nigerians. So police officers, they tried. From every unit, they make sure they clear the road. They helped their colleagues and clear the road. Even I joined them, including the road safeties.
As far as the thing happened, blood already spread and diesel already spread on the express. No any car will move. Then I now call fire service to come and flush the water and the diesel, and the blood and the diesel. They now flush everything and now try to pick the vehicle out before the road open.
AIT gathered that the injured were moved to the Asokoro General Hospital for medical attention. FCT Police spokesperson Ajuguri Manza and other emergency officials at the scene of the accident would, however, not make confirmations on details about the accident.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has extended his condolences to the family of Kanti Bello and the government and people of Katsina State on the death of former Senator Mahmood Kanti Bello. President Buhari, in a statement, also commiserated with the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria over the passage of their colleague and former Senate Chief Whip, who served 2 terms in the upper legislative chamber. As senator representing Katsina Central Constituency, Dara Senatorial Zone, from 2003 to 2011, President Buhari recalls that the late Senator Bello was a very outspoken and courageous patriot who worked hard to ensure that all levels of government in the country were responsible and accountable. The president believed that Senator Bello's effective representation of his people at the national level and commitment to the unity of Nigeria will be long remembered and honored, and will continue to serve as an inspiration to many others. President Buhari urged Senator Kanti Bello's family, friends and associates to honor his memory by continually upholding the values of honesty and accountability, which served as his reference point throughout his public service. The president prayed to Almighty Allah to comfort all who mourn him and grant his soul eternal rest. Mahmood Kanti Bello died in Abuja in the early hours of Tuesday.
You want to know the coolest place in town? It's right here on your phone.
Welcome to the Glow Cafe. Come on in. It's buzzing in the Zanga. In here, anything is possible. Check out the menu, and here are some of the odds items. Over here, you can buy credit, buy data, share data, borrow voice and data, give data. I'm a big. Give it to him now, be kind. Then there is Glow Music Cafe. More than 2 million Nigerian and Africa Lamba. Glow has teamed up with the world's largest gaming catalog to bring you the Glow Game Cafe. And that's just a start. Check out the Glow Video Cafe. Countless clips, comedy and sports, direct to your device. And when you thought things couldn't get easier, there's personal account management and Glow customer care right at your fingertips.
You can get everything at Glow.
Simply text BUZZ to 105 to download the Glow Cafe app. Go to your app store and search for Glow Cafe, the largest data network. Glow, grandmasters of data.
Chivita Active Fruit Juice. Unique quality blend of 6 citrus fruit juices. Want to dance? Chivita Active. Be active. Do more. Get more out of life.
House of Cheese.
He was born with no superpowers. He was just unique, with a burning desire to know more. To question the answer, and then question the question. To never stop finding new ways of doing things. Curiosity not only drives innovation, it shapes the future of businesses. So wherever it leads you, InterSwitch will be there, providing diverse digital payment solutions, insights and opportunities. Because we're committed to finding better ways to ensure that your business runs efficiently.
InterSwitch. Transaction solutions you can depend on.
Meet Patty for celebrating the high points of life with friends. Ah, selfie. Just a friend that keeps you nourished when you are by yourself.
Healthy goodness inside and out.
Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt. It's all good.
Hollandia.
I feel alive, so alive. When I'm with my best friends, indulging my tea, exotic, taste of paradise, irresistible. Everywhere I go, tea exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful, tea exotic. And after a long day, I wanna relax with the taste of my tea exotic. Yeah, sinking and get lost. Taste of relaxation, too good not to share. The taste of affection. Oh, say I love the taste of tea exotic. I love the taste of celebration. Love the taste of tea exotic. Nothing like the taste of my tea exotic. I love the taste of tea exotic. Nothing like the taste of my tea exotic. Oh.
Thanks for staying with us. Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa says the people of Delta State have lots of reasons to celebrate the state's 26th year of its creation. Governor Okowa, who made this observation at the interdenominational Thanksgiving service in Asaba to mark the occasion, says the state currently enjoys considerable restoration of peace, especially in its creeks.
Okowa recalls that from August last year, when the state marks its silver jubilee to this year, Delta State has not recorded any case of pipeline destruction. A success, he says, is not far from fervent prayer of churches. The governor was thankful to the youths of the region for their restraint, the traditional rulers for their interventions, and all those that work to ensure that peace returns in the region, adding that everyone is important in building a new Nigeria.
Though the impact may not have been felt in our resources, because it takes time to begin to redevelop the various oil wells for export, but at least we are hopeful that the situation will be better.
Governor Okowa at the occasion kicked against any action that could lead to disaffection in the country as it concerns unguarded comments.
We must be cautious on the ways we make our statements, because the unity of this country at this very critical time is something that we should all pray for.
He also thanked God for the return of the president, noting that it's worthy to celebrate because death is not a thing that can be wished to anyone. Reverend Jonathan, who in his sermon calls for support of Governor Okowa's administration, charges parents to concentrate on instilling the right morals on their wards and those in authority to use their position to glorify the name of God by engaging in right actions. Iberu Biako, AIT News, Asaba.
Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello has told the new head of service, Adefunke Ogumola, to be diligent in discharging her duties. Governor Bello said her appointment became necessary to continue the repositioning and reforming of the Pension Board and Civil Service Commission.
Her record speaks for her. And in this administration, we must not know any person to be able to work with that person so long as you possess the requisite qualification, character, pedigree, integrity, and readiness to serve the people of Kogi State. You must discharge your duties and responsibilities without fear or favor.
The new head of service pledged allegiance to the state government and its policy.
Since your assumption of duty, several developmental milestones have been covered in the areas of construction of new offices, such as the modern revenue house, the ongoing renovation of the state secretariat complex, the construction of roads and other utility infrastructures that have successfully changed the outlook of the state. The journey of 1,000 miles, they say, begin with the first step. I therefore wish to appeal to all civil servants in Kogi State to believe in the government to be committed to our duties and to be focused in the formulation and implementation of government policies for the overall development of the state.
Governor Bello described the new head of service as a right peg in the right hole and urged civil servants in the state to offer her maximum support.
Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has called on the international community to closely monitor political activities in the country in order to avert crisis. Speaking when he played host to the Australian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Paul Lehman, Governor Wike warned that if not checked, a reoccurrence might result in crisis in 2019.
Ahead of his trip back home, Australian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Paul Lehman, is in Rivers State in search of what he says are possibilities to grow linkages across many sectors, including trade and investment.
I think there's always opportunities to learn lessons from history, both in Australia and Nigeria, and to look at where we're expanding into a reinvigorated mineral sector or mining industry. We do that correctly.
Governor Nyesom Wike, however, wants the relationship between Australia and Nigeria to go beyond the issues of trade. He wants Canberra to show more interest in the political activities in Nigeria, as he again raised the alarm over what he says is a plot by the opposition in connivance with INEC and the police to manipulate the outcome of the elections, as was witnessed during the proceedings of the tribunal that decided the outcome of the Rivers East senatorial district election.
INEC printed their own result sheets with their serial number. Then these other people went and printed the same results with the same serial number. Now the issue is, how did they know the serial number of INEC for them to be able to print with the same serial number? Now what they did, when the election now took place, PDP was declared as the winner. You know what they did? They now colluded with the police. Police now came to the tribunal and tendered the one that they printed. And INEC that had the responsibility of electoral documents. The tribunal now said no, they don't trust the document of INEC. They do not trust the document of police.
Nyesom Wike, who also frowned at the manner both INEC and the police handled the arrest of a syndicate caught last year printing fake INEC results sheets, warned that he will not fold his hands and allow the situation play itself out again in 2019. Idegbo Biakame, AIT News, Port Harcourt.
The Benue State government has called on the federal government to provide ecological intervention to enable victims of the recent flood in the state to return to their homes immediately. State Governor Samuel Otom made the call during his visit to affected areas within Makurdi, the state capital.
After Sunday morning's unpleasant August visitation that left several business and residential areas, places of worship, as well as the state-owned radio station flooded, the last thing residents needed was more rain. Nonetheless, the rain still came pouring down persistently for several hours, flooding many more areas. State Governor Samuel Otom, who visited some of the affected areas, said once legal incumbrances are sorted out, structures on the waterway will be demolished to serve as a deterrent to others.
Benue State needs ecological intervention. At the end, we'll have no alternative than to demolish. Because we cannot come and be lamenting every day as a government. Where you're not given a certificate of occupancy and you just come and build a water channel, and you're causing inconvenience to legitimate owners of the land, it becomes a very major problem. But you see, when it is done, they will be crying all over the place and that government is not fair to them. But are they fair to government?
Already I've started preparing a place where most of the people who will be evacuated to the place. When you go to Agan, there are gigantic houses. They are under preparation by my own office to make sure that as soon as these people are pushed out, they will be pushed to that place.
In spite of early warnings of the natural disaster, many have still been caught unaware as the rain seems to fall more in the wee hours. Dofan Aga, AIT News, Makurdi.
Now, the ongoing restructuring of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, received fresh impetus on Tuesday with the appointments and deployment of top executives across the value chain of its operations. Group Managing Director of the corporation, Mekanti Baru, told NNPC staff shortly before the announcement was made public that the new appointments will not only help to position the corporation for the full challenges ahead, but would help fill the gaps created due to a statutory retirement of staff. A total of 55 top management staff were affected in the exercise. Under the new arrangement, Roland Ewubare, formerly MD of the Integrated Data Services Limited, IDSL, moved to the National Petroleum Investment Management Services, NAPIMS, as the new Group General Manager, while Diepere Taria, former GGM and Senior Technical Assistant to the NNPC GMD, takes over from Ewubare as MD of IDSL.
And Malami Shehu, Executive Director Operations of the Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company, KRPC, was appointed Managing Director of the Port Harcourt Refining Company, PHRC, while Adewale Aladenegon and former MD of the Warri Refining and Petrochemical Company, WRPC, was moved to the Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company as MD. In the same vein, Mohammed Abba, until recently the Executive Director Operations of the Warri Refinery and Petrochemical Company, succeeds Ladenegon as the MD of Warri Refinery, while the retirement of Farouk Ahmed as the MD of the Nigerian Products Marketing Company, Umar Ajia, former GGM in charge of corporate planning and strategy, now assumes duty of the MD of the NPMC, while Bala Wunti, former general manager downstream GMD's office, takes charge as GGM CP&S. Other changes include Usman Yusuf, who takes over as the group general manager, STA to the GMD. Adeyemi Adetunji confirmed as MD NNPC Retail alongside Bola Afolabi, who now functions as the Group General Manager in charge of Research and Development Division of the corporation. Also on the list is Ahmad Katugum, appointed Group General Manager Shipping in the Downstream Autonomous Business Unit, while Kalamu Abdullahi takes over as the GGM in charge of the Renewable Energy Division in the Downstream ABU. Shaibu Musa was promoted MD of the NNPC Medical Services Limited, while Ibrahim Burma is a new GGM in charge of the corporation's Audit Division, now renamed Governance, Risk and Compliance Division. A cross-section of leaders and elders from Imo State have called on the Nigerian military to investigate the use of soldiers by the Imo State government to demolish Ekuku Market in Owerri last Saturday. The group, at a media briefing in Abuja on Tuesday, also called for the resignation of Governor Rochas Okorocha, accusing him of violating a standing court order restraining the state government from demolishing the market and killing a 10-year-old, Somtochukwu Igbanusi, in Saturday's violence. The leaders say they have petitioned UNESCO on the development and are calling on President Muhammadu Buhari to set up a commission of inquiry.
To investigate if those who follow the government were real soldiers or make-believe soldiers. That the government of Imo State should refrain from further violation of the court orders in respect of these demolitions. He should honorably resign as governor of Imo State. If Governor Okorocha refuses to resign, members of the Imo State House of Assembly immediately proceed to impeach him.
The gory picture of the young man who died, the governor said no person died. And there are suits by family members who are going to go to court.
The Imo State government last Saturday ordered for the demolition of Ekeoku Market with plans to move it to Egbeada, another local government entirely. Chief Press Secretary to Governor Okorocha, Sam Onwumedo, in a statement says Imo people are happy that the market has been finally moved. He also denied the death of anybody as a result of the demolition, describing the story as the work of mischief-making politicians.
And now to our big story.
Now, As the demolition exercise embarked upon by the Imo State government enters its third day, the family of the slain 10-year-old boy, Somto Chukwu Ibianusi, allegedly shot by security operatives, wants the police to allow them access to his corpse for burial. The family made the request when AIT visited the site of the demolition exercise and the victim's family home in Ogwamanam Street in the Imo State capital. They say they continued withholding of the tally which gives them access to his corpse by the police further compounds their agony. The update on last weekend's fracas is the focus of our big story tonight.
Manan Street in Oworu, where the Ibianusi family resides, is calm, while people are in their clusters mattering. Somto's mother, in her complaint, says after reporting the case to the police, the tally given to them by the mortuary attendant has been in their custody.
One man came here yesterday morning, being Sunday, and asked my husband to go and report to the police station. When my husband reached there, he saw the commissioner of police. The commissioner of police, after discussing with my husband, he ordered my husband that he wanted to go to that FMC to see the cause. When they reached there, he asked my husband to give him that tally. He collected that tally from my husband. After seeing the call, they asked him to write an invitation letter before giving him that tally back, which my husband said no, that he will not write it. They ordered him to write that invitation letter before refunding that tally back to him. Since today, they never refund that tally to him. Let them release that tally for me. Let me go and beg my son.
Imo State Police Commissioner Chris Ezike explains reason behind police action.
Because murder has been alleged, there must be post-mortem examination to be able to ascertain the cause of death. If we don't have custody of the tally, how do we prevent the corpse from being removed? If you're investigating murder, you need to fill coroner's forms, but rest assured that full investigation has commenced and we'll be able to look at the circumstances and ramifications. The family will also be given an opportunity to get a pathologist of their choice to be able to be part of the postmortem. These are best practices and we must follow it.
At the Federal Medical Center, where some of the alleged gunshot victims were admitted, AIT was unable to have access to them, as the Chief Medical Director, who is barely 1 month on the seat, was said to be in a meeting. This man, Leonard Osuji, who says he had gunshot wound during the demolition exercise, is in his house recuperating.
When I got information that they were destroying people's things, so based on the agreement we reached, I was going there to approach them and ask them, was it what we agreed upon? One boy was holding the pump action, stainless. So when he collected the thing, the next thing I had was a gunshot. Then I jumped up. The thing now came on my laps.
Meanwhile, as the demolition exercise progresses, the ever-congested Douglas Road is devoid of the usual refuse heaps, human and vehicular gridlock.
His Excellency made a pronouncement via a broadcast that he's embarking on urban renewal, and this urban renewal entails cleaning up Owerri from shanties. For over 10-15 years, nobody can cross this road without being molested, without being maimed, or without being robbed.
All the cubicles and shanties that once defaced the Douglas Road turned market have given way. Banks and the popular Amausa market also fell to the urban renewal exercise.
Whenever development is coming, it affects someone. And there's a befitting area which His Excellency has already allocated to us, and we are okay with that.
A visit to some of the alternative markets being built for the evicted traders by the state government are in various stages of completion. These women beneficiaries, mostly foodstuff sellers, were sighted at the new site, planning to settle for business. They said their joy knows no bound.
Our governor built it. It's more secure here than the other side.
This place I will now be able to come here again, because it doesn't contain us, all of us.
A look at Owerri metropolis, where residential houses have over the years converted to shops. The crisis, according to analysts, is a game of interest between a people afraid of losing their source of revenue and a government that is desirous of giving Owerri a status it deserves through its urban renewal program. Ebero Biako, AIT News, Asaba.
The number of attacks by Boko Haram terrorists have risen in the last few months, and Nigerians are getting worried over the resurging danger. In this report, AIT's Ngusoluji looks at the impact of the terror sect's seeming recovery and the challenge before the security agencies responsible for fighting them.
Between May and August this 2017, at least 15 attacks were reportedly carried out in northeast Nigeria. Over 100 people were feared dead in the series of armed attacks, multiple suicide bombings, and abductions. Prominent in this period is the killing and abduction of members of an oil exploration team on the Borno border. The resurgence of the sect has raised fears among the public and cast doubts over claims by security agencies that the group has been substantially defeated.
Initially, we thought we are safe, but as it is not right now, I can no longer boast and go to Borno State or any other northeast state because you never can tell where is their next target.
President Muhammad Buhari recently gave an express directive that military authorities must find a solution to the crisis, and security experts say new strategies must be evolved to counter the new tactics by the sect, with emphasis on intelligence.
We have maybe at least about 7 or 8 organizations that are supposed to be gathering intelligence. They are all working on their own, but they all need to come together, share information, and it will amaze you what we can achieve if everybody put hands together to gather information, to gather intelligence, and to deploy it for the safety of our country. The military still have a lot of work to do in trying to unravel the sources of supply of equipment and funding for Boko Haram.
What kind of questions we should be asking are, what are the factors that push people to join the ranks of the terrorists? Because so many have been killed and yet the ranks keep swelling.
It's not that the Boko Haram had stepped up their game. It's just the issue of suicide bombing that had been the problem. And of course, we are also working with the security agencies, the intelligence agencies, to make sure that we'll address that menace.
With the complex dimensions in the asymmetric war on terror, experts say the war cannot be won by military efforts alone.
The issue is beyond the military. But the people are being killed on a daily basis, unarmed people. We need to look at, adequate number of policemen to be able to handle the situation as the terrorists are being pushed around. We need to look at the populace itself. To what extent have we addressed their issues, their plight?
If you are going to fight insurgency, then the critical mass of the people must be properly mobilized and educated in order for us to address these issues.
In the meantime, less than 48 hours are left to the deadline issued by the Chief of Army Staff for the capture of Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau. All eyes are on the army to see the outcome of this twist in its fight against Boko Haram. Nguso Uji, AIT News, Abuja.
Our wonderful family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia.
I don't think he's just season, my brother. The bridge is gonna burn.
You want bet?
This is the last time I bet this. Sorry, bro. Only top 3 allowed, bro. How far now?
Dinner today, oh. It's just not your season, my brother.
Chivita Active Fruit Juice. Unique quality blend of 6 citrus fruit juices.
Wanna dance?
Chivita Active. Be active. Do more. Get more out of life.
House of Cheese.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts and lasts and lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1. Sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness.
Chivita Active Fruit Juice. Unique quality blend of 6 citrus fruit juices.
Wanna dance?
Chivita Active. Be active. Do more. Get more out of life.
House of Cheese.
Hello and welcome to Business Reports. I am Ifeanyi Mobi. The Cross River State government says it is pushing to produce 500,000 tons of cocoa as the state is viable in the farming of the cash crop. In a message on his behalf to the International Cocoa Summit in Abuja, Governor Ben Ayade said Cross River State will soon become the leading producer of cocoa beans in Nigeria.
Nigeria currently ranks 3rd in cocoa production in Africa. 2 states, namely Ondo and Cross River, account for 60% of cocoa produced in Nigeria. For the Cross River State government, the approach to its cocoa production drive is numerous. One of it is attracting investment using the Cocoa Dance Group. Governor Ben Ayade's special advisor on cocoa development, Oscar Uka, who read the message of the governor to the international summit, says Cross River has the capacity to lead Nigeria in cocoa production.
Our target is to ensure that we hit 500,000 metric tons of cocoa and beyond. This is not negotiable. We want to become the leading cocoa producing community in Nigeria.
Linking the farmers through access roads and the ports in order to be able to move crop and export their cocoa is an aspect the Ayade government has planned out.
So we are embarking on the super carriage highway specifically because of cocoa. And this super carriage highway is the highway to the gold mine of Cross River State. And when we talk about the gold mine of Cross River State, we are talking about the huge cocoa potentials that exist in Cross River State. And of course, it's going to serve as an evacuation corridor.
For a country working to diversify its monocultural economy, a boost in cocoa production will assist in ongoing efforts to increase revenue in Nigeria. Ehizo J. Momo, AIT News, Abuja.
Youths in Nigeria have been encouraged to embrace agriculture, especially yam farming, as there is high demand for export of the produce. Some traditional leaders and farmers in Abia State gave the advice at the harvest of yields for newly cultivated yams in the state. They believe agriculture has the potential to contribute meaningfully to Nigeria's revenue drive and reduce the rate of unemployment among youths.
So people farm to train their people, even those people that have nothing to do. They can manage to get the food crops from the farm and then take care of their children. They used to use the farm work to take people abroad.
I'm encouraging our youth, our young ones, to embrace agriculture and pay particular attention to forestry, because without the forestry and without trees in the world, we cannot live.
While commending the federal and state governments for the renewed efforts towards reviving the agriculture sector, they emphasized the need to provide access roads to the rural communities.
Cultivate lands here without fertilizer. But our weak point is that we cannot carry these cash crops to the market because of bad road. That is very, 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 very unfortunate to our people. So please help us, tell the government, let them come and do our roads. Mostly from Mohafia to Aruchukwu. We are dying.
Nigeria recently began the export of yams to other countries, and the people of Abia State were advised not to lose out in tapping into foreign earnings from the demand for yams. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says his administration is prepared to go the extra mile to ensure that youths in the state are not only gainfully employed, but also ensure that the state maintains a prudent and transparent financial management system. Governor Wike made this known at a meeting with the World Bank Implementation Support Team on the World Bank Assisted State Employment and Expenditure for Results project. Assistance in the areas of revenue generation and biometric verification for civil servants.
To explore ways of scaling up the State Employment and Expenditure for Results project, otherwise known as C4. The project has the objective of enhancing employment generation for youths in Rivers and 3 other states in the Niger Delta region.
We have created at least 5,500 permanent jobs, with an additional 5,000 expected, by, the beginning of October, just less than 6 weeks hence.
Leader of the group, Ismaila Sise, also intimated Governor Nyesom Wike of the World Bank's Fadama project, which he says will be of immense benefit to the state.
The bank already has about $3 million to provide as a grant to the state. However, as one of the, basic entry criteria, the state would need to have counterpart funds of about only 35 million naira when, we could provide 3 million.
We must go and take that $3 million. I will not leave that one go. It's very key. So be assured that whatever it is on our part to do, we're going to do it. All the MDAs that are relevant to the project, we will make sure that they liaise with you. And as quickly as possible, the ones who are to do on our part will do it.
Governor Wike also sought the World Bank's technical assistance in the area of revenue generation and biometric verification for workers in the state civil service.
That's it on business. I am Ifeanyi Wobi. Thank you for watching.
I feel alive, so alive, when I'm with my best friends, indulging my tea, exotic, taste of paradise, irresistible, everywhere I go, tea, exotic, nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful, tea, exotic, and after a long day, I wanna relax, with the taste of my tea, exotic, yeah, sink in and get lost, taste of relaxation, too good not to share. The taste of perfection. Oh, say I love the taste of tea exotic. I love the taste of celebration. Love the taste of tea exotic. Nothing like the taste of my tea exotic. I love the taste of tea exotic. Nothing like the taste of my tea exotic. Oh.
Do you know the 125? You know the 125? Do you know the 125? Oh, so you don't know the 125? Well, since you do not know about the 125, then let me introduce you to the 125.
McVitie's Digestive is celebrating 125 years by giving away millions of naira in cash and airtime in the 125 promo from the 1st of July to the 30th of September. Simply buy any of the McVitie's Digestive special promo packs, scratch the foil and text the codes to 55332, and you could be one of the lucky winners. Now, that's the 125. Keep buying, keep scratching, and keep winning. Approved by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission.
From our wonderful family, meet Patty for celebrating the high points of life with friends. And then there's me, Jolly, bringing nourishment to every gathering. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia!
It's Battle Royale as African champions, Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, come roaring to the nest of champions in Uyo. And the Super Eagles are bent on taming the Lions in a 2018 World Cup qualifier on September 1, 2017. Russia 2018 FIFA World Cup race is a must-win. courtesy of the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF. Catch the full-blown action live on terrestrial platform only on Africa Independent Television, AIT. Be part of the excitement. AIT, first with sports. Welcome to Sport Track on the News Hour. I'm Ovej Kodeso. Sports fans and supporters thronged the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on Tuesday to receive the victorious Nigerian women basketball team that emerged champions at the 2017 Women Afrobasket in Mali. A reception was organized for the players and handlers at the National Stadium, Abuja, by the Minister of Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalong.
For the third time establishes you as a force to be reckoned with in African basketball. I am indeed convinced that this victory will boost your confidence to face the world at the World Championship in Spain. I have always believed that when we do things right, we will always get the right results. I'm happy that this victory is another proof of this fact. Getting the governance structure of our National Sports Federation right held the key to our success in sports.
All right, Lai Lawal was at the reception and he's here with me in the studio. Lai, well, I'm sure that it was electrifying at the stadium there, but tell us precisely what happened at the reception.
Thank you, Vijay. It was not so much an elaborate reception at the stadium today, but the expression on the faces of the players, speaks a lot. Everybody was happy. The officials and the players, though they've been through a lot of stress coming from Lagos and all that, all the travel stuff, but they were all happy generally. It was a joyous moment for everyone at the stadium today. Okay, but what do you think? What's the significance of this? What impact would they have on the players, especially as they prepare for the World Cup in Spain? Now the players they've shown great, spirit, winning the trophy in spite of the controversy and the elections problems that saw Musa Kida emerge as president of the federation. Not taking that away from the players, it's been, they showed a lot of spirit to have gone to that tournament and come out tops. What this means is that the players are the most important when it comes to, sports generally. Irrespective of what has been happening within the federation, the players have to put that behind them, and they showed that that true spirit of Nigeria. And they are getting the reward for that, at least from the support they are getting, even from the president and the other top Nigerian officials. And let me quickly tell you, the minister also announced that they will be meeting the president tomorrow morning. The president will be hosting the team around 8 a.m. At the Villa on Wednesday. Wow, that's to cap it all. I think that's a very good one, and we hope that it will spread to other sports as well, not just basketball. In other areas, we had the wrestling team, Adikwo Oroye, who won a silver medal at the World Championship in France, and the other wrestlers as well, they did well. We hope that such encouragement will be spread over. And let me quickly chip in something. We hope that when the president hosts the team tomorrow, there will be a kind of reward for the team. We've been always advocating for an institutionalized reward system for athletes that have done Nigeria proud at international competitions. All right, Lai, thanks so much for coming on, and we'll be looking forward to what happens after tomorrow's reception by the president. The pleasure is mine, Oveje. All right, away from basketball, the technical crew, no, this time around, we're talking about the football fans in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, South Nigeria. They are full of expectations from the Super Eagles as they engage Cameroon on Friday in the race to Russia 2018. The fans who spoke with AIT's Omofoma Ebare on the streets of Uyo bared their minds on the crucial encounter.
One precisely, the Super Eagles will host the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon in a 2018 World Cup qualifier. Uyo has been the destination point for the Super Eagles for some time now. Uyo has been the home ground of the Super Eagles for both the Nations Cup and the World Cup qualifiers. This moment, we are on the street of Uyo to take the pulse of the football fans preparatory for this World Cup qualifier between two great footballing nations, Nigeria and Cameroon.
My people must understand that over 180 people are depending on them for 3 points, and we will never accept anything less than 3 points, because for sure we're going to give them the support that they need to be here. The facility is excellent as where they're playing their football overseas. Most of them are best overseas, and so we expect the same commitment that they put for the club side overseas. Let them translate that to the national team.
Well, we're sorry, that's much we can take. So much more will be coming on in our subsequent bulletins. I'm Ovej Kodesol with Sport Track. Thanks for watching.
North Korea has fired a missile over northern Japan in a move Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe called an unprecedented threat to his country. The missile, launched early on Tuesday Korean time, flew over Kadiako Island before crashing into the sea. North Korea has conducted a flurry of missile tests recently, but this is the first time it has fired what is thought to be a ballistic weapon over Japan. Houston, where more than 30,000 people have been forced from their homes in the wake of Hurricane Harvey. Historically, heavy rains have fallen for 3 days, and the downpour is forecast to continue. French President Emmanuel Macron says fighting terrorism will be his top foreign policy priority. Defeating so-called Islamic State in Iraq and Syria must go hand in hand with anti-terrorism measures in Africa, he told some 2,000 French ambassadors. ISIS-inspired terror attacks in France have killed more than 230 people since early 2015. And finally, on Global T-Beat for tonight, Guatemala's President Jimmy Morales has been condemned for his order to expel the head of the UN anti-corruption mission in the country.
And that's the news hour on AIT. I'm Oloyode Oworu.
And I am Chinenye Anokru. Thanks for staying with us.
Cameroon come roaring to the nest of champions in Uyo, and the Super Eagles are bent on taming the Lions in a